Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode here on ESGNet. And today we are here in Madden 18 with the Dallas Cowboys franchise. And today we are going to be taking a look at the bye week. As you take a look and see, next week in week 10 we have the Eagles, and we'll be facing them at home. But before we get to that, we'll take a quick review here of what we've done so far here for the season. Right now for us, we are, I believe, 7-1 here going into the bye week. And if you want to take a look there, you guys can see, check out the numbers there for what we've done so far. Or actually, this is actually injury reports here. And you got some key significant injuries coming, guys coming back on the field here. You got Collins and Hannock both coming up. They'll be back. They want to come back. They're requesting to come back this week, but since we have a week off, we were gonna have them stay back. Tyrone Smith, he even wanted to try to come back, but we told him no, and we're gonna go ahead, and he still has at least another 2 good weeks for him to fully be healed. So a lot of those guys, pretty much all those guys, are gonna stay there until they're fully and completely healed. Take a look at the league news right now. I know this is usually we do this during the inside video, and we'll show this more again for the ones that miss out on this episode. They can watch through the inside the video of the Cowboys franchise. But if you take a look here, I got some news there. Some teams making a good push for the playoffs, and other teams have kind of taken a slide back. Now, as for us, right now we're looking pretty good right now. We're 7-1. Going into week 9, and we have a bye week, and we got a pretty tough schedule coming up here, and it's kind of glad that we are set up in a good spot right now, because this schedule coming up here is not going to be too fun for us. And we'll get to that a little later on here in the video. But if you take a look here at the standings right now, 7-1 for us, 5-2 there for the Eagles, who will be playing next week, 4-3 there for the Redskins, who will be playing the following week, which I believe is our annual Thanksgiving game. And then we got the Giants, who I think we've already played twice already here in the first half of this season. So if I'm mistaken, I think we're done with the Giants, and we can try to focus on the Eagles and the Redskins, who played back in week 1. So take a look at the standings right now. Now, if the season would have ended today, this is what the records would look like here. You got a lot of 3 and 4 teams right now, log jam there, and of course, this will all start, more crystallizing the idea of who's going to do what. But if you take a look there, the Browns again 0-8. So if you take a look here, if this was actual real season, sitting back from just last season when they were 0-16 in real life. They took the number from real life, and this number right here, not a good sight right now for this team, possibly going 0-16 for 2 years in a row. So we're hoping that in real life that it does not happen. I think with the Browns, what they've got this year going to the draft, I think they got a good chance here to be somewhat of a contender. But we'll take a look here now. We'll get back to at least our version of the NFL. You take a look and see the Chargers there, 6-1, or along with the Broncos there. We're looking at like a sharp team right now. They're in the AFC West, and look like they could possibly make a push there for the AFC West West title there. That currently right now the Chargers really pretty much are on the front lines there of trying to get that one. Move on to the North, the NFC North now. We'll see the Lions 4-4, Packers 3-4, and along with the Bears there also too. Vikings, of course, 2-5 right now, and they're just not having a good time right now. They're in that division. Panthers right now lost 3 straight there, and they are now 3-4 going into week 9. As you take a look there, the Buccos there, you see 0-7 at the bottom there of the screen. 0-7-1 actually. With that tie. Falcons there for 3-4. We just played them. It was a pretty tough game that we had against them in this series. And if you're not to mention also too in the other series we have here on Madden 18 this year, our Pete Shiloh series. And speaking of Pete Shiloh and the Seahawks there you see 6-1. They're in the Seahawks. 3-4 for the Rams, 4-3 also for the 49ers, and the Cardinals also there at 3-4. So a bit of a logjam there in that division, and still right now the Seahawks really having control of that one, and pretty much by hands down, I think they'll end up having that NFC West title there. So now we'll move on here and see the season stats here. Now I'm not going to get into all the stats here, but of course Tom Brady, your top guy right now, with 2,352 yards there passing here this season, 18 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. Of course, he is not the guy that with the most touchdowns this season, because the guy with the most touchdowns this season, and you'll see here in a bit, it's Phillip Rivers. I don't know if you caught that, but he has 22 touchdowns and I believe only 6 interceptions this season. He is having a fantastic season there in San Diego, or I should say in Los Angeles there. Actually 3 interceptions. Excuse me, my bad. So yeah, that's pretty amazing for that to happen right now with him and his career right now. Of course, he's on the lighter side of it here. He's getting close to, people are wondering when is he going to hang it up and try to retire. And of course, he like many guys around his age, they want to win a championship before they go here. They want to mark their spot in the NFL. There you see 17 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, and like I said, it's going to be still with Dak there. We're still trying to decide on the punishment if he does get to those 10 interceptions. I don't know exactly what that punishment will be, but by the sounds of it, it's by the most coaches he might end up sitting out a game or a half a game or whatever the case may be. So we'll have to see what that'll be, but we're trying to make sure we try to get more touchdowns this season with Dak than we are with interceptions, or like how last year, I don't know how he did it, but he had won the NFC quarterback of the year, and he had he had a lot of touchdowns but almost the same amount of interceptions, and that's just not good for us at all. That's not what we want to see here. So we got to make him get better and do better here. Elliott, there you see 4 rushing touchdowns there. He's having a modest year, not a breakout year like he was a year ago. And of course, we're trying to use that two back system here, as we don't want to wear him down too much. But he does have the most broken tackles. He has 31 for the season, and that's very nice. But for the most part here, of all the games, I think stemming back, I think the game that we won, I think that we lost, and that really changed things, was just a couple of weeks ago, where we lost to the I think it was the Jaguars there. We lost there at their house, and that was the thing that really pretty much did us in there, and for the most part here, that loss was one of those good losses that we need to kind of reset and get ourselves looked at and realize, hey, we can't win everything. Not as much as we want to, as bad as we think we need to. But it was kind of a good way of looking back and actually taking a really good look at what our team needs to work on. Because there's still areas in our game that we really we need to look back on, and that was a close game there. It was a 36-31 game. Lost by a touchdown there, but again, that was something that we just but it was something that we needed to worry about, or we needed to as a team look at and kind of refresh ourselves and just realize, hey, this is only one loss. We can give it a couple more if we got a couple more good tough games coming up here that are going to be brutal, and if we lose those, we're still in good shape here. So we're not being really being tracked down by anybody in the division. I would say probably the teams like the Eagles would probably be the team that we'll have to kind of fend off. Either though we would like to if you're a true Cowboys fan, you hate the Eagles, so we got to make sure we put down the Eagles, clip their wings, and make sure they don't get a shot at us, especially like last year when we came close to being the making history as going undefeated in the regular season, and it was taken down by the Eagles single-handedly there by Carson Wentz in that game, along with I believe LeGarrette Blount, or no, Blount was not in that game. It was Alphon Jeffries, yeah, I think it was him that just single-handedly, just systematically, just destroyed us. And so, we wasn't really too, prepared for him because he wasn't much of a threat last time. The first time we played against him, the previous, encounterment with those guys. So, we just gotta have to look at this, and now since now we have not played him at all, and this will be the first time we'll play him in week 10. I think this team will be ready, and not to mention it's at home. So I think this will be even more so. This will be more pressure on them to come out and have a good game than it is for us. So that is nice. When you don't have much pressure on you, you can relax and lay back, be a little more laid back. You can see things a lot more better. The game comes to you a lot more slowly and more clear, and I think that will be an advantage for us coming up this week, and especially for Dak and really for all the guys there. I know in the locker room, looking around, guy I was trying to get a chance to talk to is Elliott, and got a chance to talk to him for a little bit there, but when he was saying what he was pretty much was saying was, and I didn't get a chance to interview this because it's kind of a private thing, but he said on the record that it's been a tough year for him, and he knows that teams are more designed to, they game plan wise, they're looking at him as the first threat of the game, because utilizing the running game and whatnot. But for the most part here, he's had, he's coming off I think an injury he had there beginning of the season. I think he had here. And not to mention last year he lost quite a bit, so that's been a little bit of a setback. But yeah, the not just him, but the offensive line has not been blocking as well. They haven't been utilizing or opening up holes here for him to run through and really for explode through and get down the field there. And not to mention, like he said, teams are really have him already. Figured out, and they're doing a great job of doing that. So he doesn't, he's hoping that the team doesn't go away from the running game. They hope he's included in a lot more of the running game, and really relieve some pressure off of Dak. In a way he doesn't have to throw 45 times a game. So that is something him and Dak and the rest of the offensive line and offensive coaches there here at Big D have been looking at here, and that's something that we're hoping that'll happen more here of the second half here. So running game is going to be really important for us in the second half here. Like we said, we're going to try to really utilize all our backs. I'm not mistaken, I think Bird, he was hurt, or if he is still hurt, he should be coming back here soon. So having him, and along with McFadden there, there's even talks of maybe even bringing a fourth in there at some point here to really help the guys out, and just kind of really confuse the defenses there. And that's something that the coaches, at least talking to them, they were mentioning and kind of hinting about. I asked them if they had any names in particular in free agency, or if they were going to do a trade. Of course, by now they couldn't do a trade, but free agency wise, they can go pick up somebody free agency. And when we got to that question, they kind of stayed quiet and didn't say much else. So pretty much after that, they said that they were done talking to me, and that they actually had a coaches meeting they had to go to, and so they went ahead and disappeared. So that is the curse of the reporter, I guess you can say. But take a look here at some of the numbers there, as you guys been probably doing here in the last 5 or 6 minutes now. But yeah, talking to the team and what they're doing here. We'll have more about this in the Cowboys update, or Cowboys Insider here. But just right now, we're just taking a look at just pretty much around the league and what's going on with the league so far here. But yeah, for the most part here, it's been a great first half of the season. Don't get me wrong. We had some really great games there, but not also too. You know, we've also there's some areas in the game that we thought we had fixed for at least for at least try to hold out for the rest of the for the rest of the season. You know, and maybe try to plug some holes as we go along. But some of those holes have been you know, getting bigger and bigger, and you know, now we gotta try to see, not necessarily in danger or anything, but we gotta try to see it fix things. Now, kind of breaking the fourth wall here for a minute here. I have been working on some different sliders, and that's been why some of the games have been kind of scores have kind of been getting a little funky and weird, stuff like that. And not to mention too, just gameplay wise, there's just been a lot of I know they recently had an update here on Madden, so there's been some weird things going on with that, and so I've been trying to readjust my sliders so a way where you know, it's still competitive, but at the same time still fun to play and exciting, and we have some pretty close games here. And I think for the most part here, I mean, if you look at the Jacksonville game, that was a really close game there. But yeah, so on that aspect there, that's some of the other reasons why the season has been the way it's been. And I'm so far here in the last, actually I've already filmed the next two games. And I think the gameplay, or at least the sliders that I've been working with and everything, I think have been a lot more, a little bit more better. I've got some suggestions from some friends like that, of working on some slider sets like that for all Madden, or not all Madden, or yeah, all Madden, yeah, that's the highest one. So working on that kind of stuff there to, you know, just because one of the games I think it's coming up, I think it's the Redskins game. I had to, for whatever reason, I played it like twice, and both times it was just like glitching like no other. I don't know what the deal was. I don't if there was something wrong with it. I checked the disc and everything, but I had to play it like at least I think the final of like the fourth, fifth time it finally stopped glitching and whatnot. And so we finally got that up going and whatnot, and it was a fun game playing, but I think it should have been a lot closer than what it was, and you guys of course will see that here coming up here later on in the week. So I think that video should be coming out, I think, on Friday. Yeah, we're having a Friday video of all things. So now coming out of the fourth wall, now going back into reporter here. Let's take a look here. There are some I guess you could say mid-season looks here, some awards here, some of the players that are up for some of the awards. Remember, after week 8, they start showing some of the top 10 guys in each category there, and looking at the awards there. And we got a couple guys there. Ryu Itami, one of the decent defensive linebackers there. You see there for the Chargers. So right now we're taking a look at the AFC. We'll take a look at NFC here in just a bit. But yeah, these are some of the awards that players you will possibly see here towards the end of the year could be up for and possibly take home. We're hoping once we get to the NFC side here, we're hoping that we'll be able to take some hardware here, not just individually but also as a team. Right now we're the best team in the NFC. We're the best team in the NFC East, and we're hoping that we'll continue on here. Of course, you know, the main goal here is to first off get home field advantage of the playoffs. Once we do that, then you know, from there on we need to really focus in on you know, our gameplay. So you know, I think with a couple of games here, we'll see here in a few. Like I said, we're gonna show you guys this bottom half of the season, because it's a tough one. There are 4 games. Get this, there are 4 games that we have on the road, and then our final 5th game is finally at home, and I believe it'll be against Seattle. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't get any tough there. We have we have 2 games out of this second half. We have to play the Eagles twice, I think I mentioned. We also have to play the Redskins, and then we got a bunch of AFC teams that we play. There are actually some pretty good teams. And we'll get to those here in just a bit. There you see Raymond Bird, our young man there that we're hoping to get a Rookie of the Year with. We got to try to utilize him a little bit more here. We have not as much as we wanted to, but with the way how things are going right now in our running game here, and try to utilize all runners here, he may get significant playing time. And if he does well, we may just give him the green light to be involved in a lot more plays and get him out on the field a lot more often. I'm not saying we're not getting rid of Zeke. Don't freak out there, Cowboy Nation. We're not getting rid of him just yet, but I mean, we won't get rid of him anytime soon here. But I think really true we need to work on our O-line. That's something I think we've actually been looking at scouting wise, and I'm hoping to have that video together here and finished up here pretty soon. We actually have a scouting video for you guys, and we'll have I'm trying to see if I can fit that somewhere sometime this week for you guys. But for the most part here, and don't kill me if it's not up either, but for the most part, yeah, we gotta get our offensive line there. We got 3 guys right there up for the Offensive Lineman of the Year award, but or 4 guys there in the top 5. But without having Collins there, I think that's probably been one of the biggest problems there. He's our left tackle there. He has some pretty good numbers there. Last time I looked, if I'm not mistaken, of run blocking. And that's just been our killer right there, just our thorn in our paw there, that we just cannot get around. We just can't get those holes open there. And we gotta complement the pass just like we have to complement the run with the pass. We can't have Dak throwing 40, 45, 50 times a game, because that when you start doing that, that's when he starts throwing just some really just bad passes. Just starts throwing them anywhere and starts getting sloppy, and we just don't want that to happen with him. So we got to back up here. We got Kaepernick with great experience there, but Kaepernick, his accuracy is not the greatest either. So that's something we're really going to have to realize and remember that as we go along here. All right, so take a look here at the Week 9 schedule here. Then you see the Pats going to the Jets, Colts, Titans, Jaguars going to Steelers, Chiefs going to Cleveland to face the Browns. That Colts and Titans game actually has a significance. I think they're battling for the top spot there in the AFC South. Bucks trying to get their first win. They're hopefully get their first win against the Eagles. It'd be nice to help us out. Dolphins, Bears, Rams, Vikings, Broncos, Cardinals, Panthers, Ravens, and then you got the Bengals, Chargers, Falcons, and Saints. That's another big game. That's a Sunday night game that I think a lot of people are going to be watching out for, because they're up. Both are going after. I think right now the Atlanta has the top spot there in the NFC South. And then Monday night you got Redskins, and the Thursday night game there you have a really good matchup there too. So, but there you see the numbers there, or at least we send the games here, and you see that of course Pats won 42-7. Cleveland lost, or actually no, Cleveland won 42-24. Wow, against the Chiefs. That was a good game for them. We'll see here. What's another game we can take a look at? Oh, Falcons won 41-9 against New Orleans. So that was a good game there for them. Got them. I'm trying to see if the Bucks did not win. They lost 22-17 against the Eagles. So that did not help us out. Eagles get a victory there for themselves. And then the 49ers and Seahawks. Oh, Seahawks just oh man, at home there. Oh yeah, definitely there in Seattle. 41-7 against the 49ers. Niners having a really, really tough year. Packers and Redskins. Thank you, Packers. 45-7. And the beat goes on there on that one as they win the Monday night game there. So nice job there. Getting those wins there for those teams, and we'll see what goes on here coming up in week number 10. But before we get to week 10, we'll take a look at your top players of this one, and we'll see here. You got Jenkins there for the Chiefs, for the AFC defense. Randall there for the Packers for the NFC defense. AFC offense, you got Bernard there for the Bengals. And for the Falcons, you got Freeman, who is just having a, I still say I don't see how we got away with that victory there with those guys. Like I said, it was taking on them. The Falcons were just, they're a good team. They're a good team, and I just so glad that we were able to beat them. Even though it was a rough game. I'm glad we were able to get out of Atlanta there for that, getting that victory there. But as you take a look here, we go on to week 10, and looks like in week 10, it's going to be those dirty birds, the other dirty birds that we don't really like, and that would be the Philadelphia Eagles. So we're going to be at home against Philly in this week 10 matchup here, and we'll see how we will fare against these guys here coming up. So this video should be up, should be sometime here in the next, or actually no, this will be up tomorrow. So we'll see the or not tomorrow, it'll be up on Wednesday. This is Monday when I'm recording this. So Wednesday this video will be up. Of course, tomorrow, Tuesday, we'll have a inside the video. We'll talk about more of the Cowboys, of what they did during the which kind of mentioned already here in this one, during week 9 and their bye week, and we'll show you guys some numbers there for the Cowboys, just the numbers there for them for this season, and we'll get you guys a preview and a look at what we are going to kind of expect against the Eagles here coming up in this Sunday night game. So should be a good one. I cannot wait, and hopefully you guys will be ready to see this one, as we going to be at home at AT&T Stadium to face off against Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles coming up in the next episode. So thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed today's video, please leave a like. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more Dallas Cowboys football here on ESGNet, and we'll see how we'll fare here in this game. So also, don't forget, if you have not yet subscribed, hit that subscription button, and also hit that bell notification so you guys can be notified here when videos of this series or any other series here on the channel is uploaded. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter and on Discord, guys. Check us out there. We have the latest news and events on what's going on the channel, what videos are being put up and all that kind of stuff. Great way to stay connected and be a part of the nation for ESGNet. So again, thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for episode 39, as it'll be week 10, and we'll face off against the Philadelphia Eagles coming up in the next video. As always, guys, keep yourselves and each other healthy, and I will see you guys next time.